Brian Sullivan is back with more from the Netherlands. Brian?
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, let's really the third leg of the stool here. Earlier this morning, we talked about demand. I don't want to say it's unlimited, but certainly Europe will take all it can get. Then we talked about supply, in which case, by the way, we went out on a boat in the port of Rotterdam. We had a drone. It was very cool to get up next to these LNG ships to talk about that supply, a lot of it coming from the United States. By the way, one of the ships that you're seeing now, 10 or 12 of those would be 1 billion cubic meters. I'll bring that up in a second because the numbers are pretty staggering. So we talked about supply, but let's now talk about cost. Because here's the other reality of the energy crisis. Can Europe get most of the natural gas it needs? Well, it certainly did this year. Storage was 95% full, and everybody said, okay, problem solved. Well, remember, more than half of that was done with Russian pipeline gas. That's not quite zero now, Kelly. So the idea is, okay, can they get all they need for next year? Maybe. But the other issue is at what cost? Europe, it's a wealthy area. The Netherlands, wealthy in part because of natural gas. I'll get to that in a second. But they can afford to take on debt, and they can afford to buy natural gas that might go to other places. So another leg of the story you've got to remember. Europe, they're going to keep their citizenry happy. But are they stealing natural gas from countries that simply can't afford it? Countries like Pakistan or Sri Lanka or other places where they might need 1 or 2 tank loads of LNG, but they can't outbid Europe. We're already seeing some of these problems. So keep in mind the cost issue. Then it comes down to the electricity cost generation. Natural gas itself, right, it's good for making chemicals, maybe good for making electricity. You remember this summer when electricity prices went sky high, when all these countries are trying to buy it up at the same time. They're trying to debate a possible price cap, Kelly. They haven't gotten to that. They got to one on oil. They haven't gotten to one on natural gas yet. We'll see if they do. But what's going to happen next year with electricity costs if they don't get a price cap? They were paying 10 times what we were paying in the United States. And when you travel around Europe, you see lights dimmed. You see basic services that are starting to get hit around the margin. Oh, and by the way, the other thing I will say is this, and I'm not going to dive into the climate change conversation, which just becomes all political and nasty. As we import all this LNG from the U.S., Norway, and other places into the Netherlands, just keep in mind, the Netherlands has the largest natural gas field in Europe. It's called Groningen. Now, it uses a slightly different type of natural gas. It's low sulfuric, caloric, whatever. And there have been obviously some earthquake issues, which I'm not minimizing in any bit. But as part of their effort to go green, the Netherlands is going to be winding down the biggest field in Europe, which, by the way, has about 3,000 BCM, when the shortage this year will be about 30 BCM, but import it by ship from places like the United States into the harbor. So the natural gas is coming from somewhere. They're just going to outsource it from the United States.
Here's my question as you're traveling.
I'll leave that to the viewer's imagination.
Absolutely. As you're traveling around there, do you sense resentment amongst Europeans about the extent to which they've borne the brunt of this crisis, or pride that this is the way in which they're trying to push for what they feel is the right resolution on the Russia-Ukraine war? Do they think we need to be doing more? Are they just glad that we have the resources? What do you pick up on?
Okay, well, and you know me, Kelly. And by the way, you're hearing like bombs go off. They're not bombs; these are fireworks. Morocco beat Spain in the World Cup. There's a huge Moroccan expat population here in Rotterdam, so there's honking horns. I don't want anybody to be alarmed if they hear explosions. These are good explosions. Okay, to that point, you know me, Kelly. I talk to everybody. Anybody I can get my hands on, I'm going to talk to. They kind of approach it in sort of the quiet way that you might imagine. What they say is, we support Ukraine. We think what is disgusting, Putin's disgusting war. But then they wonder how long and how bad might it get for them because of what's happening there. It is an extremely complicated geopolitical issue. Everyone, once you get to chatting with them just a little bit, has their opinion. They'll say, how much longer can we suffer? Because their costs are up 2 and 3x, Kelly, but they're not getting the pay increases like we are. And the last thing is, the ones I talk to, they're thankful for the U.S., okay? And all the people out there in Texas and Oklahoma, we talked about it earlier, you know, they take their punches in the United States. I can tell you, here in Europe, people are pretty doggone happy to have U.S. liquefied natural gas because they get to keep the heat on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Brian, we'll leave it right there. We appreciate it. It's great to see you again, and congrats to Morocco.
Sure.
Brian Sullivan in the Netherlands.